And you're watching Morning Live. Thanks so much for choosing us. Now, smile on my face because this is some good news. Motorists can expect a much-needed decrease in the fuel price this week. And according to reports, there will be an estimated reduction of R1.85 per litre of petrol and R1.40 for diesel, R1.28 for illuminating paraffin. And this comes after South Africans were struck down with a 22% increase in fuel prices over the past year. And joining us now from our Pretoria studios is Layton Beard, who is from the Automobile Association of South Africa, AA. Layton, good morning and thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Good morning. Also have a smile on my face this morning.
I mean, it's great that at least for once we can smile whilst we're talking about the petrol price. And this, of course, in light of a potentially huge decrease in the price of fuel. Just talk to us about the factors leading to that decrease.
Well, firstly, let me just say that the Department of Energy yesterday did announce the official reduction for December, and it was announced that it would be a R1.84 reduction in the price of petrol and R1.45 for diesel. And really, the two major factors that have contributed to this are a decrease in the price of international petroleum, which is very significant, which has made up most of the decrease that we are seeing going into December, and then obviously also a firmer rand against the US dollar. We saw at the beginning of the month of November, the rand was trading in around the R14.50 band to the greenback, but it closed on Friday, for instance, at R13.71. So it really has firmed over the last few weeks, and these two factors have combined to give us this very significant and massive decrease going into December, and obviously very good news for motorists, especially ahead of the festive season.
And Layton, given what we've experienced over the past year, 22% increase overall, many of us are cautiously optimistic because one cannot help but wonder how long is this going to last? When are we likely to see another increase in the fuel price?
Yeah, obviously that's the big question. Everybody asks, okay, so great, we've got a decrease now, but are we going to see another increase in January? Look, it's really early days. The official adjustment is going to be made on Tuesday night, midnight, so in other words, on Wednesday, the 5th of December. That's when the price is going to come down. We have to look at the factors that I mentioned earlier, international petroleum prices, the rand against the US dollar, and we'll have to see what happens over an average period throughout December to get an idea of what's going to happen going into January. I think at this stage, this is a very significant decrease. We're obviously very happy about that. If the trend continues and we keep those levels at where we are at the moment, so in other words, the rand remains firm against the greenback, international petroleum prices remain low, then I think it could be even better news going into January in the sense of we're not going to have another increase. We could see a very small decrease then as well. Again, though, it's very speculative right now. We have to wait and see what happens going into the new year. Speculative,
and to add to that, the role of politics and geopolitics, especially as it relates to the OPEC countries, Saudi Arabia talking about possible cuts in production. How's that likely to play into what we are experiencing right now and especially going into January?
Yeah, it's a very good question. And I think what you're touching on there is that South Africans, I think, have realized over the last couple of years that developments in other parts of the world are going to have an impact on our own pockets very immediately in the form of the fuel price. So international geopolitical developments certainly will impact. If some of the OPEC countries decide that they want to decrease output, that is going to make it international petroleum prices get more expensive. And when that happens, then we know that obviously the fuel price is going to increase. So geopolitical developments certainly do play a big role. Again, we'll have to wait and see what happens over the course of December to get a firmer picture of what's going to happen going into January.
Layton Beard, always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much. Layton Beard is from the AA and talking to us there about the expected decrease in fuel prices this week. And as he says, we'll obviously have to keep our eye on political, geopolitical, and of course also market-related developments going into January to see if there will be any major changes then. Well, we're going to take a break and